Was good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building with another banger, man. So, as y'all can see by the looks of your screen, I am bringing y'all the top three most rare builds coming at y'all on NBA 2K22 current gen. And first things first, man. Thank you, God, for giving me this opportunity. Thank y'all for your support. And man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Anybody looking to join the Rich Gang family, be sure to go ahead and turn on post notifications. Go ahead and leave a comment as well as hitting that like button. So, the first out of the three builds that I'm going to be bringing in for y'all today is going to be called the Point Center, y'all. Now, y'all most definitely know that I'm going to do everything in my power that I possibly can to bring y'all the rarest but also the best setup when it comes down to each and every single build that you're going to be seeing today. So, the first thing you want to go ahead and do, put this build under the center position. This is going to be called the point center build. And now, once it comes down to the breakdown of how you're going to be looking at this build, I'm telling you, going to be really overpowered when it's all said and done, especially with a rare build name. Now, for me, what I'm going to go ahead and do is first go ahead and put on the full playmaking pie chart. Now, when it comes down to the physical profile, this is all based on a personal preference. I'm going to go with the one that has the 66 speed, 61 acceleration, 55 strength, and a 53 vertical. Now, when it comes down to what we're going to go ahead and touch when it comes down to the stats, let's go ahead and start off with the shooting. I'm going to go with the mid-range shot of 70, three-pointer 64, 68 free throw, and a 68 post fade. Now, the pass accuracy, put that to a 72, 43 ball handle, and then max out that post control at a 94. When it comes down to the defensive end, max out your interior defense, perimeter defense. Go ahead and do the same for the lateral quickness. Skip over the steal and then max out your block, offensive rebound, as well as the defensive rebound. Now, when it comes down to the next category, we're going to go ahead and put the finishing all the way up to a 57, 58, and 55 going down. Now, this is pretty much what the build is going to be looking like so far. But when it comes down to the height, weight, and wingspan for this specific build, I'm going to go with 6'9". Now, the body shape is completely up to what you want to do. For my liking, I'm telling you, this is definitely going to be the wave that y'all want to go with. So, I would have to say, when it comes down to the weight, this is going to be very crucial as well. So, I'm going to go ahead and put this build all the way to 193, and for me, that's going to work out perfect with the speed, acceleration. Vertical is still looking really solid, especially knowing we do get a +8 on this build when it comes down to the main stats. Actually, if you consider bind boost, that would be a +12, so you're going to get a +4 at 99 overall. Bind boost, as well as running with teammates that have Hall of Fame floor general and defensive leader. Now, for the wingspan, I'm going to go with is going to be 88.0, and as y'all can see, we're going to be able to maintain park dunks when it comes down to this build. Also, you're going to be able to dribble really well, especially even speed boost if you decide to go ahead and pick the playmaking takeover. Adding boost and all that taken into consideration is really going to take this build over the top with what it can do. But I'm telling you, this really comes down to how you want to base it for your own setup if you are making this build. So if you feel like changing anything, go ahead and do it after we get the actual build name, so that way you know most definitely that I bring y'all the correct build, but also that you can make your own adjustments on it as you want. Now remember, the speed is going to be a 90 with that +8 that we will be getting once we get to 99 overall, as well as with the gym rat badge. And then even on the defensive end, things are looking really solid. So as you can see, the playmaking takeover, post scoring, glass cleaning, and finally we're going to be able to get the rim protecting. Now, this really comes down to your personal preference. I'm going to leave it up to y'all, but as you can see, we have made the first point center on this build, bringing it back to the top three most rare builds on current gen. Let's go ahead and get into the second build. Now, I'm telling you, the builds are only going to continue to get even more rare when it comes down to their name, but also even better with what they are going to be able to do. I just want y'all to know that I really appreciate every one of y'all who has been coming through showing y'all support. This build is going to be called the back to basket big, and I'm telling you, they even have a back to basket guard that I need to bring to y'all most definitely. And man, if you are still watching, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Go ahead and hit that like button, turn on post notifications, and don't forget to go ahead and subscribe to join the Rich Gang family. Now, let's go ahead and get into the next build. First, you want to go ahead and put this build under the power forward position. And now, when it comes down to the breakdown of the pie chart, this one is going to be a little bit diverse. The one we're going to go ahead and pick is going to be the shooting as well as the finishing. But this one is actually going to have a little bit more shooting than what we're gonna have when it comes down to the finishing. So a little bit more green than the blue, gonna be perfect. Now, when it comes down to the physical profile, this really comes down to your personal preference, but for me, I'm going with the one with the 66 speed, 63 acceleration, 56 strength, and a 76 vertical. Now, this build, I'm telling you, very solid all around, going to be able to do everything. Let's go ahead and get started with that close shot. I'm going to go with the 93. Driving layup 72, driving dunk a 73, and a standing dunk a 77. Now that's going to give us 15 finishing badges right there. As for the shooting, we're going to go ahead and put the mid-range to a 76, three-pointer 73, 63 ball handle with a 93 post fade for 20 shooting badges. And then as for the pass accuracy, I'm going to go with the 70, max out that post control, and then for the ball handle, put this to a 43 for 15 playmaking badges. Then onto the defensive end, max out that interior defense, perimeter defense, lateral quickness, block. We're going to go ahead and put this to a 64, but as for the defensive rebound, max is out at a 74, and you're going to be able to get 4 defensive badges on this build. Really solid lineup, especially when it comes down to this kind of rare build, and especially even more so if you want to get more shooting badges on this build, you definitely can go ahead and take it up to 27, but then you're taking a minor hit on the defensive end. It really just comes down to your personal preference, and remember, you can always get extra badges from completing each season. So that's going to be a huge W for this specific build, especially if you want to add more to the defensive end. But when it comes down to the height, I'm going to go with 6'9" on this build. Now when it comes down to the wingspan, to make this build the best possible, go ahead and put the weight to 190, and that is actually going to be what's perfect for here. And now once it comes down to the wingspan, here is where things gotta be very specific. So for my liking, I would definitely have to say somewhere around 85.0 is the move that I would make with making this build. But if you want to go ahead and go with anything else, you definitely can do so. As you can see, we get the post scoring takeover as well as the sharpshooting. Both of these are going to be really solid. Again, it just comes down to what your playstyle is going to be like and which takeover you want a boost for. I'm going to go with the post scoring, and as y'all can see, we have made the first ever and top 3 back to basket big coming at y'all on NBA 2K22 current gen. Now let's go ahead and get into the making of the last and final build that I got lined up for y'all today. Now as you can see, I'm telling you, the builds are going to continue to get even better. And if you're still watching, man, go ahead and turn on those post notifications, hit that like button, drop a comment, and y'all most definitely know that I'm responding to y'all. But as for the final build and the most rare out of the 3, this one is going to be called the small ball 4, with the potential to be able to unlock contact dunks, y'all. And not to mention, this build is also going to be made out of the small forward position, making it even rare because it is called a small ball 4, which normally would be a power forward, but today we're making it out of the small forward. So let's go ahead and take it a step further. When it comes down to the breakdown of the pie chart, you got to be very specific with which one that you do go with. Now again, all this comes down to personal preference, but the pie chart that you want to go ahead and make this build out of is going to be the one split right down the middle with the shooting as well as the finishing. And then when it comes down to the breakdown of the physical profile, go with the one that has 76 speed, 72 acceleration, 54 strength, and an 84 vertical. Now, let's go ahead and move on to the breakdown of this build. I'm going to start with the finishing, go with the close shot of 93, max out the driving layup and driving dunk. Then, for the standing dunk, go with the 69 and max out that post hook. We're going to be able to get 18 shooting badges right. Actually, if you change it up, you're going to be able to get 18 finishing, and then you have the potential to maintain somewhere around 18 shooting, or you can go with the max of 26. So that is something about this build. If you want to go with less shooting badges to add more wealth, you can go with 18 to pair it up with the finishing, but I'm going to go with the 26 for the playmaking. Max out every single category, especially when it comes down to that ball handle. And then for the last couple of stats, max out that interior and put the rest into the defensive rebound. And right here for this build, we're only going to be able to maintain one defensive, but I'm telling you, with the extra badges that we are able to unlock, this build has the potential to get somewhere around 4 to 5 defensive badges and still able to do everything on the offensive end. Now, for the height on this build, I'm telling you, you do got some really good options to pick from, but the one that is going to make this build perfect is putting it at 6'10". Now, for the weight, what you want to go ahead and do is drop it down to the lowest, being 200, and then ask for the wingspan. Look, y'all, you're going to be able to get the park dunks, and on top of all that, sometimes you do not need animations to get the contact dunks for builds. I have seen it happen, so if you do happen to buy enough boosts, as well as really take into consider which takeover you pick, you have the potential to do a lot of different things with this build. Remember, a +4 at 99 overall, another +4 from running with your teammates to have floor general or defensive leader in Hall of Fame, and then finally bind boost. So if you go with the slashing takeover, you're definitely gonna be able to get the contact dunks. This is the last build, man, so again, thank y'all for coming through, and I just want you to know that I love y'all and I appreciate all of the support that y'all have been giving me, man. All glory goes to God, so I just want you to know that, man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Anybody who wants to join the Rich Gang family, be sure to turn on post notifications. Go ahead, leave a comment, as well as hit that like button, man. Go ahead and do something extra to reach your goal to be ahead tomorrow. And just know that I love y'all, man. And with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Thank God and Rich out.